Warning: the following content will contain death, child abuse, SA and CSA, SCW content, self-unalivement, and disturbing imagery. There will also be no jump scares. Viewer discretion is advised.
Greetings everyone, Uni speaking. So a lot of us remember the era of creepypastas. Scary internet stories that were so horrifying, it even gave a lot of us the common belief that some of these stories were even real. These were mostly popular back around the late 2000s to early 2010s. However, it's no surprise that around that same time period, at some point Vocaloid songs would be made based off of these stories alone. From Pokepastas to stories revolving around Disney, here are about 8 Vocaloid songs based off of creepypastas. Produced by Apple P, this song is sung by Hatsune Miku and Kagamine Len, with Miku being the main singer and Len being the background vocals. There's not much story regarding this song, as it's more of a tribute to the Slender Man urban legend / creepypasta, which was hugely popular at the time. And it's simply Miku singing in a more campfire story-like manner about how you should avoid the Slender Man, his motives, not to let him catch you, blah blah blah. The song ends with indication that we have been caught by Slender Man himself, along with Len hauntingly repeating the words, "Do you want to play again?"
Do you want to play again? Do you want to play again?
This song, produced by Creep P and sung by British boy Oliver, is based off the creepypasta of the same name. The original pasta goes as hundreds of children in Japan committed unalivement in the 1990s. The reasoning being Lavender Town's theme ranges in high pitches so overwhelming it caused them to behave erratically, and eventually led to their deaths. The song is told by the point of view of one of the children who suffer from this unfortunate circumstance, and how much their mind begins to snap, as evident in this part of the lyrics. Okay, just a heads up, you're gonna see a lot of songs done by Creep P here. This song is sung by Cyber Diva and is based off the creepypasta, which also goes by The Truth Behind Ed, Edd and Eddy. The pasta goes with the typical, "oh, the main characters are dead" theory. God, remember when these pastas were relevant? Not only are they dead, but they're stuck in a sort of purgatory known as the cul-de-sac, where summer is eternal, but it's also a sort of happy place for the kids who all each suffered different horrific deaths. Ralph was trampled to death by a cow, Johnny died from an illness, Eddie died from drowning, Ed and Sarah from a car crash, Naz... yeah, you get the picture, it's even hinted at in the lyrics. Speaking of the lyrics, it's also made noteworthy that a lot of these deaths range from the early 1990s to the Great Depression to the very early 2000s. What's also interesting is that according to the pasta, the Canker sisters are supposedly demons sent from hell, sent to torment the souls of the cul-de-sac. Similar to how they act in the actual show. Also, eggs and bacon. For those confused and convinced that this song is about an abusive mother, this song, produced by Creep P and sung by Dinah, is based off the NSW creepypasta / grimdark story known as Little Miss Rarity. If you're a brony, especially if you used to be one from back in the old days of the My Little Pony fandom, you're probably dreading hearing this one ever again. It's kind of considered the black sheep of My Little Pony creepypastas. Anyway, the story goes as Rarity ends up developing a sort of obsession for masochism and even a bit of sadism after her cat Opal scratched her, but she realized that she actually liked the pain. This, however, eventually leads to her accidentally killing her cat, which devastates her. But that doesn't stop her from still continuing her descent into sexual madness and overall insanity, as she makes a Pinkamena doll and places the heart of Opal in it, and even begins to have lewd fantasies about the thought of being unalived by Pinkamena. Oh boy, this is quite the story. Things get a bit more disturbing when she basically grooms Sweetie Belle into joining in these sexual acts, which, reminder, Sweetie Belle is not only her sister, but is also a filly, which is the pony equivalent to a kid. Yeah. Now back to the song. This is pretty much told by the point of view of Rarity. The lyrics gives us an in-depth look into her mind as she slowly goes more insane and unstable, her sadomasochism slowly breaking her. The word mommy is a word that she uses to refer to herself, as she even calls herself mommy in the story. Lyrics like, "Mommy always loves you, mommy is always here," as well as, "Loving you is my goddamn pain," is possibly her response to the Pinkamena doll. It could also be a response to Sweetie Belle, but either way, interpret it as you will. This song, produced by Popiko and Shidu and sung by Hatsune Miku, is based off the creepypasta The Crayons or Red Crayon. It's a story that allegedly took place in Japan. To put it short, a married couple decided to buy themselves a cheap house after coming back from their honeymoon. One day, the husband finds a random red crayon on the ground and decides to throw it away. However, as time goes by, both the husband and the wife kept finding random red crayons on the ground on the exact same place. They both eventually came across a pair of sliding doors covered by wallpaper. When they get the wallpaper off and the doors open, inside the room, scribbled in red crayon were the words, "Mommy, I'm sorry, let me out," over and over again. The song, like many of the other Vocaloid songs on this list, tells the story from the point of view of the child, as we see them constantly begging to be let out of the room, and repeatedly says, "I'm sorry," just like in the story. And it's heavily implied that they've given up all hope for anyone to save them or to be let out, and they eventually die by the end of the song. Not gonna lie, I like how this song gives us an in-depth look of the child from his side of the story rather than the couple's, to not only capture the sadness, but the haunting nature overall. This song, produced by Steam Pianist and sung by Gumi, is based off the Russian sleep experiment. A lot of us are probably familiar with the creepypasta if the name of the song wasn't already a dead giveaway. Plus, this is a long-ass story, so I'm gonna try to keep it brief. The pasta goes as a group of Russian scientists put an anti-sleeping gas on about 5 subjects to see how long they can stay awake. It went well the first few days, however the results go from okay to odd to progressively worse when the gas itself ends up not only making them behave on extreme, gross, and violent measures such as eating their own organs, but the gas even ends up becoming a sort of drug to the test subjects, and they beg and plead to the terrified doctors for that gas to be put back on. The song for the most part is just a catchy retelling of the pasta, but what's interesting is this entire quote, told from one of the remaining test subjects, was cleverly used as the main chorus. I actually consider this to be one of my favorite songs, especially for this reason alone. Also, commies. Oh, Steam, you silly little goober, you. Produced by Creepy and sung by Hatsune Miku, is about one of the most well-known Disney creepypastas and last episode creepypastas out there, suicidemouse.avi. It's a creepypasta that's about a supposed lost Mickey Mouse cartoon from the 1930s. It features Mickey walking down the street, with a saddened or distressed look on his face. Meanwhile, there's a badly played piano in the background in place of the music. The cartoon is about 9 minutes long, but about 5 minutes in is when things get a bit more unsettling. The song is replaced by the sounds of a woman's blood-curdling scream. Mickey's frown turns into a smirk or grin, and the footage even becomes distorted. The cartoon ends with a still frame of Mickey's face with a broken music box playing in the background. Now, with the song, I interpret it as a sort of message for the people who have viewed the lost cartoon. Lyrics like, twisting memories, scenes you shouldn't see, is pretty much a response to those who weren't meant to see the cartoon as, after all, it is a disturbing lost episode. Everything you know shines but isn't gold. Nothing's what it seems. Can possibly mean that what you know now, what you have seen, is something you cannot unsee. The disturbing screams, the morbid look on Mickey's face, it will stay with you. Now, for a brief moment, the song can be directed to both Mickey himself and the viewer. With every step you take, with everything you break. This can possibly be Mickey's dark thoughts. I mean, makes sense with the name being Suicide Mouse, that this is Mickey's inner thoughts taunting him and further pushing him. Especially with, hey, listen to us say, it won't be okay. Now, the reason why I say Mickey and the viewer is because if you go back to the creepypasta, it was mentioned that an employee walked out of the room with a disturbed expression and repeatedly said, real suffering is not known, before they shot themselves. Meaning this single cartoon has a way to break one's mind. Anyone who views it is doomed to suffer from insanity because of the contents. That's pretty much the best way I can interpret this since, once again, I'm not the best at interpretation. Along with the fact that considering this is a lost episode creepypasta, it would make sense that this jolly, catchy sounding song would capture that same feeling of mystery. Or I'm just a fucking idiot. Good song though, I will give it that. And now, the final song we have on our list is... Admit it, you saw this one coming. You knew this was gonna be on the list one way or another. This iconic song, produced by Crusher P and sung by Kai Yuki, is based off the creepypasta, The Rugrats Theory. This would also be the creepypasta that was pretty much the founder of creepypastas revolving around TV shows, where it's about the main characters being dead, it's all in their head, etc. Basically just dark theories. Anyways, this story is rather short and sad. It's the theory that the Rugrats are all figments of Angelica's imagination, as all the main babies died in different ways. Chucky died with his mother, Tommy was a stillborn, the DeVilles had an abortion, and Angelica couldn't figure out whether it'd be a boy or girl. All of this combined gave her the idea to create them in her imagination, which continued into her teen years, hence all grown up. She unfortunately died of a drug overdose by the time she was 13. Forgot to mention that Dill was the only Rugrat that wasn't fictional. However, because of this, Dill didn't disappear with the imaginary babies when she was angry with them, which resulted in her hitting him. This caused him to have a disability that was prominent when he got older. The guilt of what she did to him is what led her to her drug use. Susie was Angelica's only friend and played along with her imaginations, who apparently later became a psychiatrist to team up with Nickelodeon to create the Rugrats as a tribute to Angelica in her creations. The song is very much told from Angelica's point of view. The more the song progresses, the more we see her innocence get ripped away from her. Especially after the incident with Dill, she starts to see herself as more of a monster as time goes by. The song ends with indication that she died of the drug overdose, as she reverses things back to times when she was happy, with the imaginary friends she grew with remaining by her side. Now this pasta and song didn't really seem to age well. Hell, a lot of people regard it as cringe, and to an extent I can't really blame them, but at the same time, while not my favorite creepypasta, I still like the song it's based off of. It perfectly captures the grim, creepy, and sad nature, from the creepy music box used in different parts of the song, to the lyrics, to the chilling voice of Yuki. Everything about it just feels perfect. Also, fun fact, Crusher actually used to be named Childhood Crusher because of this song, and what sort of started out her career. Another fun fact, this song was originally sung by Megarina Luca, with the language being English instead of Japanese. But it's technically considered lost media though, since only a fraction of it was found. If you guys made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching. This video was kind of a pain in the ass to edit, not gonna lie. This is probably one of my longest edited videos so far, but I still had a bit of fun nonetheless. Again, Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.